July 26, 2015. Undead from Cleveland. You're listening to Video Game News Radio with your host, Kevin Baird.
Brian Baird.
Don the Anderson.
And the Larry Max.
All right, so we're back on the end. Hopefully there's not an echo. Can't say for sure, but nothing's changed. All the hardware is the same. Same setup that we always use. Although Mazda says we have a bad echo and it sounds like we're in a tin can.
We are in a tin can.
I don't know what to say about that.
In a yellow tin can.
I mean, I hope it's not true. I hope it's on his
Tin
side.
can? That'd be fucking.
Enzo said that there's a bit of an echo, but I'm not sure. He might have been drinking. Sometimes drinks.
I am.
It's hard to know about him. Bit of a lush. All right, so we're back for the show, and everybody survived so far this weekend with all the heat. Did it go up to 90 this week?
So ridiculously hot.
Blazing hot. Great. It's only going to last a week, and then it's going to be rainy and shit.
Good.
Yes.
Guys.
Bring that back.
I don't disagree too much with that, but the thing is I really like when the sun's out to like 9 o'clock. It just
Well, yeah, that's when it starts to get icky.
It's like so much.
The
It's so
sunrise
awesome.
gives you full of hope, makes you feel cheerful, and then it turns to shit because people usually are all up by then, fucking making.
I mean, I
rackets.
got done with this show last week, and it was still lit up outside. Not a lot, but it was lit up. I was like, wow. It's like 9 o'clock. It's fun though.
I like it like that because otherwise, well, it means it's getting closer to winter.
All right. So, yeah. I decided to change the top 10.
Ooh.
I know this is going to disrupt the drinking game,
Uh-oh.
but I'm going off of the VG Charts list. It's top 10 list. It's all games, although some of them you could argue maybe shouldn't be a game. And it's the worldwide global top sellers. So, yeah, we're going to do that.
Well, when do we drink?
You don't.
Aww.
However,
That's
drink.
bullshit.
You can drink during the games to come out this week part, where I say things wrong.
I'm off the show. Bye.
Have you drink all you want. You could also drink if it's a game that you have no interest in.
I'll die.
Because, well, I mean, not games that you're not going to buy, but games that you would just, if you got for free, you wouldn't even
Still wouldn't play it?
Right.
Be like pissed
Maybe
off
drink
at the
the
person.
That's a sort of a personal opinion thing, but Larry will let us know if it's a game that he would play or not, and then you can drink with Larry or not. It'll be like the Larry top 10.
Top
Would he
10
play
games
it,
I
or
have
would he
no
not
interest
play
in.
And we can all drink. Got my generic Mountain Dew right here. Wild Mountain. All right, number 10. For the PlayStation 4, it is Payday 2 Crime Wave Edition. Payday is a game where you and like other people are like robbing banks, and the cops are trying to like you're inside and you're like trying to like blow the vault or whatever, and the SWAT team is surrounding the building, so you're like you got hostages and stuff, and the cops are trying to come in, and you're just like blowing them all away and stuff.
Okay, I would play the shit out of that.
Probably,
Okay.
yeah. I'm gonna drink anyway, so fuck you.
Well, you don't have to wait too long because I'm pretty sure we're gonna get up the list here. Number 9 for the Xbox One is Lego Jurassic World.
Drink.
Now, there'll be a lot of drinking because number 8 for the PlayStation 3 is Lego Jurassic World.
I would totally play it on a PlayStation, though. No, drink.
Number 7 for the 3DS is Rhythm Heaven, the Best Plus.
Drink. I don't even need a synopsis on that bad boy.
This is more fun. Doing it this way. Number 6 for the Xbox 360, Lego Jurassic World, and number 5 for the PlayStation 4, Lego Jurassic World.
That's 2 drinks.
I know.
It's a lot of drinking on this list, like most of the lists that we do. Number 4 for the PlayStation 4 is The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt.
Yeah, I would play that.
Okay. No drinking there. And number 3 for the Xbox One, The Elder Scrolls Online Tamriel Unlimited.
I haven't played that this week. I've been too busy being scared by the goddamn game Kevin gave me to play.
You can talk about it in a minute. Larry, would you play Tamriel Unlimited?
Yeah, I think I would.
He would. He'd like it.
Yeah, I mean, like if somebody threw it at me for free, I'd probably be down.
Number 2 this week for the Wii U is Splatoon.
Spittoon.
Splatoon.
Bing! Bing!
Larry, would you play the Splatoon?
I don't know what that is.
It's like a bassoon.
I really don't know what Splatoon is either.
See, I'm
It is
thinking
number
it's
2.
like a spittoon.
Well, ask yourself this question: if there was a game case and it just had the word Splatoon on it, would you play it?
Nope, drink.
You'd probably spit that through.
And number 1, The Elder Scrolls Online Tamriel Unlimited. So that's the VG charts list. Brian, go ahead. Tell us how your week was and how you liked Alpha Arcade.
Tell us all about your thing.
My week was my usual week. Anyway, this goddamn game, Kevin said, in the middle of the night, I look and find this link. And it says, download this app. I look for it on my phone, but you can't play on the phone. Kevin adds, iPad or Android only. All right. I have an iPad, so I downloaded this game, which immediately it's all in Russian and very fucking vague about what it's about. The only thing that I noticed straight off was the reviews. I go to reviews to make sure, have some idea. I'm like, what is it? All of them were pretty much 1 stars, not because the game sucked, but because there wasn't enough, and because I noted in more than one review that when you talk to them, they said in quotes, they talk to you back in character. And of course, my brain goes, well, what if they're not in character? Maybe they really like that. I'm like, oh shit. However, almost universally, all the reviews said that this is one creepy fucking game. I mean, this is iTunes reviews. They savage everything. I'm like, oh my god. So I downloaded it, which took, I think that's more my connection. It took a while to download. And I put it up, and having lived with my brother, the computer programmer, I realized immediately when this thing came on that it actually looked like a real fucking computer program. I was like, all right. I'm fairly certain I was unable to actually crack into some sort of hidden Russian website.
Right.
But it's pretty convincing. So I started playing this game, which at first I didn't understand quite how it worked, where you can actually press a button and because of the stuff that you're supposed to be able to read out of like notes that people had written down in some sort of examination about some kind of whatchamacallit, a terrorist attack or something like that, or terrorists, and of course it's all written in Cyrillic, wouldn't have helped me anyway. And you press a button, all of a sudden it comes up highlighted in English, and I'm like, oh, thank God. So I'm like, okay, I'm not certain, is this just some role-playing game thing where I read it? So dumb. It's the middle of the night, man. Oh, God. And it's like, there's like different areas, and I was just at the end of the first area. I was just reading it, getting into the story. Like, they showed a video. Like, in the third page, like a video, some chick, he realizes the terrorist that's, like, confessing to her crimes, and they just show her, like, all bound up, and, like, I guess what they'd be, like, modern day, what you do with prisoners. You put a bag over their head, their hands, their feet, whatever. And in any case, she just walks to a cell and then lies down, and then that's the end of the video. Like, all right. So I go read the 4th page. I'm like, just see what's going on. All of a sudden, right across the entire screen, my screen just like flashes, and you have to understand my iPad is pretty wonky. I'm like, what the fuck? Did I just lose my connection? And this chick's face, like, kind of like came across in static just for a split second. It disappeared, and I shut it off. I'm certain everybody in the house just yelled me here, or me yell, "Oh, bullshit!" Shut it off. I'm like, no.
He's like, shut it off before it possesses me.
Oh Christ! Every horror movie I've ever seen about video games came right to mind. Like, no, fuck that, no. I don't fucking even care anymore. Fuck, but I kept playing and shit like that happens. It does happen, like all of a sudden, and then like we'd like to access your camera. I'm like, oh god damn it! If somebody starts talking to me. If somebody starts talking to me, I'm immediately just gonna that's the end of the game. I don't want them seeing me. So I saw my face. I'm like, and then immediately It sort of faded away. And this chick's like trying to like talk, or she's moving around or something, and then faded back. I was a little more prepared for it this time. But even so, I was still like, God damn it. Oh shit. So it's free. So I can't recommend this shit enough.
Drink.
But yeah, it's an interesting little game there. What else I was playing? I mentioned I think last week they released Death Watch for the iPad, which is a little tactical shooter, whatchamacallit, move the little guys around, whatever. It's pretty fun. I'm still playing that one. And I've been watching a lot of Hellraiser. They have 9 videos. I'm on 4 or 5. I can't remember which. I'm going to watch them all. I don't care how bad they are. Some of them are pretty bad, but some of them are, it's Hellraiser. They're good. Other than that, and today I made a fatal error. I was on, public radio, whatever the hell that is. They're on Facebook, and they post little updates. And that's the only news site that I actually kind of can pay attention to, because I feel that, they don't always put a huge spin on everything. They do once in a while, but not as much as everybody else, which is constant. So I posted. It was some review about some black guy out in Denver who got his ass kicked by the cops, just walking out the door or some crazy shit like that. I didn't read the whole thing, but the guy, apparently he won his court case against the cops, and the cops got fired. And I said, well, I'm glad he's okay, and he won his court case, and those cops are no longer have a job. And I had like 100 people go on there and like start fucking grandstanding immediately. Pretty much just saying what I said, or just updating and saying, well, they did get fired, but one got his job back, but then they got fired for unrelated reasons. I'm like, okay, if one of them posted that, I'm like, okay, I didn't know that. That's fine. But it's like, did you read when you posted under my post that I put on there? Could you at least read to see if everybody else posted? They're all like trying to grandstand. And then finally, some guy put like 1,000-word fucking essay about what's wrong with the world, and I just deleted the post. I'm like, yeah, we're done with this. I thought, plus, it's really going to piss that guy off. He wrote all that shit, and I just deleted it out of hand like, peasant, how dare you. So, yeah, it's been a fun little week of just looking at the world and telling it all. I don't care. I'm not interested in fucking crazy shit. So.
Yeah, I don't know if anybody can hear me, but I'm trying to figure out where the echo's coming from. There's like 10 million things over here that fucking could cause it.
Giant cave.
Yeah. Well, normally people go, can't hear Kevin, and so I switched off the thing that normally I have off, and then people say they can't hear me. So now I don't know if they're gonna say they can't hear me, or now they can hear me, but the echo's gone. I don't know. So anyway, I switched something off, and if you're listening, if I'm still echoing, I sound fine on Twitch now. Okay.
Twitch.
Okay, good. See, that's weird, because sometimes people say they can't hear me, and then I gotta switch that one Twitch microphone on and off.
Something I've learned a long time ago is when people say they can't hear you, doesn't mean they necessarily want to.
Well, all right. On that note, Don, how was your week this week?
Exactly. No. It was, what? Yeah. It's the same. Nothing new. I don't even have a good Adam story.
Stop it. Come on. You did something this week.
I'm sitting here. I had something. Oh, I was going to say what Brian's story about that game he was playing reminded me of. There's that new show on USA called Mr. Robot. I don't know if you've seen that.
No.
I've seen it, but I haven't watched it
yet.
It's interesting. It's about a computer. It's computer related and all that stuff. But they have a website, and it's like whoismrrobot.com, and they're like, go to our TV show website or whatever. And what Brian was telling me reminded me of this story, because I was like, oh, I'll go on there, and I grab the computer and I go, who is I type it in and I click on it, and then all of a sudden it just goes like all old school, like starts printing all kinds of shit all over the screen.
Right.
Like shit I don't understand, and I'm just looking at it and I'm like, what is going on? And then it's like hit enter to, accelerate or whatever, and I hit enter, and then it just goes, and all this stuff just starts flashing on the screen. I was like, yeah, done. Clicked it, shut it off. I'm like, no, I don't know what's going on, but no, I can't handle that. Not going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
And yes, the lead character is an ugly kid. He's weird looking. Weird, fucking bug-eyed looking. But that's a topic for Tumbling with Tumbleweed. Other than that, yeah, it hasn't, it's I've been working more at the Cheesecake Factory this week. This Thursday is National Cheesecake Day. For all of those interested, you go to Cheesecake. Most cheesecakes factories should have half-price cheesecake.
Now, is that a holiday that Cheesecake Factory made up?
No,
or is it an actual holiday?
I think it's actually, because like Saturday was National Sunday Day. You know how everybody's got a national something, National Tree Cutting Day and National Leaf Raking Day. Shit like
I think like Tuesday was National Hot Dog Day or some shit.
Right. So it's like Thursday's National Cheesecake Day, and the Cheesecake Factory does half-price cheesecake. So that should be interesting.
So no more working for your brother?
No, I did some work last Tuesday. I went in Tuesday night I left here about 5, and then 5 at night. And then I went to go, all we had to do was lay 30 block, but my nephew was there. So we left at 3 a.m. because it took him that long to lay 30 block. And then I had
don't know what 30 block is. Is that just 30 bricks, dude?
30 blocks, like cinder blocks, like 8-inch concrete blocks. You know, the ones that.
So 30 blocks.
30 of them.
It took him how long to move 30 blocks?
To lay them 60. He didn't have to move them. I moved them all. It took like.
Oh, he had to like cement them and stack them together and shit.
He had to put.
Right. Well, I don't know what the terms are and shit.
I know,
that's what I'm asking.
That's why I'm explaining it to you. He did 10-hole block and 5 half block in a doorway, and he had to do 2 doorways. So he had 30 block all together. It took him forever, and I just sat there and watched him go like, this is fucking ridiculous. I was so broke at the beginning of the week. I had 38 cents in my bank account, and I had $2 in change in my pocket. And I went to the little canteen where the sandwich machine is, and I found a sandwich, a chicken sandwich thing for like $2. I was like, I got $2. That's $2. So I just started putting the dimes in, because that's pretty much all it was dimes and nickels. I got to $1, put the next dime in. It ate my dime, right? Ironically, the machine ate my dime as opposed to me eating the machine's sandwich. Then, when I hit coin return, it only gave me the $1 back, and I was short a dime, and I couldn't afford a sandwich. I had to buy a bag of chips. That's all I got. It's a whole week.
All right, well, I know Larry went car shopping anyway. Played some trivia. So, Larry, how was your week this week?
Drunk. There was so much drinking this week. Of course, this week in gaming, I got my 15 new levels of Candy Crush Saga.
Nice.
So I've now gotten through the first 1,100 levels of that stupid game. Worked all week.
Like there's a second 1,100.
Yeah, well, like they're. I think this is their new system where like literally each week they'll release like 15 new levels because it's been that way for like the last 3 or 4 weeks. Let's see. This week I worked all week. Then Tuesday, I stopped up at the Winking Lizard to get some beers in before I went to Babes to have some more beers and play trivia. So I'm now pre-gaming at the bar before I go to the bar. Wednesday, of course, national holiday was Sharknado 3. I was going down to watch it at a friend's house, and she lives down in Cuyahoga Falls, and she works till 5, and I got off work early, so to kill some time, me and Susie, this girl from work, went to the Winking Lizard in Peninsula, where I knocked out a few more beers, learned not to sit on the patio at the Winking Lizard in Peninsula because at least one of the waitresses, because I'm sure we got the shitty one, will just straight up forget you're out there. And, like, worst service ever, because when she finally realized that we were sitting at her table, like, I handed her the card for the beer tour, and she pretty much was like, well, do you know which one you want? I was like, well, yeah, I'll take this one. Like, I was wasting her time just standing there and not blurting out fucking beer numbers at her. And then when she eventually came back, Susie and I were like, well, maybe we should just order 2 drinks because we're apparently going to have to wait for them. Went down, watched Sharknado 3. Phenomenal. It's everything you could hope for in a movie and more. Did learn, because we were drinking at her house beforehand, if you're going to do a Sharknado 3 drinking game, I do not recommend trying to do a Sharknado 3 drinking game with scotch. You will straight up die. So that was Wednesday. Thursday, once again, I returned to the Winking Lizard to drink some more beers before heading up to a different bar, because now on Thursdays I am doing musical trivia, just because I don't get to spend enough time in bars. So, so Thursday I went to the Winking Lizard, then I went to the next bar for music trivia, and that brings us to Friday, when I had nothing to do, so Cindy and I went to the Winking Lizard out in Macedonia. Yeah.
Dude, I'm amazed you're not broke. I mean, seriously. Going to the bar, like, all the
free drinks
time.
with trivia.
Then, yeah, Saturday I started looking at cars. When I was asking for everybody's advice, a friend of mine pointed out that he works for Ford and can get me that discount. So I didn't buy one yet. I'm waiting to see what he can do for me.
It's going to be on a new car. It's not going to be used.
Well, yeah, I was getting a new car.
1,000 off of 25.
Yeah, that's. I want to see what he can do for me, because my original thinking was that I was going to do like a 2-year lease on a car. But if, with whatever, discount I can get from him, and I may also be able to get, a deal on the loan through work, if I can get a comparable monthly payment buying a car, I would go out 4 or 5 years on it. So I have to crunch some numbers, because right now I have it down to like 2 or 3 cars, but I'm leaning towards a Ford, so more to come on that one. Stay tuned, everybody.
Okay.
How
Right.
was your week? I'm assuming Larry was done. If not,
Yes.
Kevin was about to cut you off anyways.
Yeah, I know. I knew I was right up against my window.
I didn't even do anything. Jeez.
Now you're
I
solid.
got a new stereo receiver. My other receiver wasn't bad, but it's kind of old, so it only had 2 HDMI inputs, and when you're me, that's not enough. I have a dozen things I need to plug in. So I got a new one, and then I bought 2 speakers so I can have the 7 speakers rather than the 5 one. So I have the 7 one, and I had to. My basement's wired for surround sound, so I had to.
And to kill anybody who's intruding.
But they're high up. So I had to buy some shelves, and I put the shelves up, and then the first speaker went in fine. The second shelf, I measured it maybe a centimeter or something too high, so the speaker just wouldn't fit. And I was just like, this just figures, I can't. I'm the most unhandy fucking person alive. I can't fucking do the most basic shit, measure something and they do it in television shows. They got a pencil and they're just draw a line here and measure it that way, and I do it, and it's just I'm holding a fucking screwdriver to use as a ruler and shit. It's at an angle, and I'm not doing it right. I don't have a level or anything. I'm just,
Put tape measures and levels and stuff.
I have all that stuff. I just don't want to find it all. I just want to get it done. That's how I am. I don't want to plan. I just want to do it.
It's like I have 5 hammers in this place. Lord knows I use a shoe to pound nails in.
Yeah.
That's all the way in the kitchen drawer. I ain't going in there.
I remember when I was married and I came in the room, my ex-wife was using a socket wrench to hammer a nail on the wall. What are you doing? The hammer right here.
Yeah, and so anyway, it was
I have
no
a lot
big
of
deal
hammers.
because if I turn the speakers on their side, it looks fine. It's just sort of disappointing that I couldn't get those damn things to be right. So I wasn't gonna it was those I had to drill holes in the wall and then put those plastic things in, those anchors, and then screw the screws into there. And I wasn't going to try and rip those anchors out and shit and move the...
Because the wall probably fall apart.
Yeah, I mean, it's just...
Also, just...
That's where the honey comes in.
It's just, you know, it is what it is. I got it done. It's just... I just disappointed in myself. And did something else. What did I do? I didn't do anything really that exciting, though. So,
Oh, shit.
did some gardening, as
Fag.
Sarah would like to point out that I found some giant cucumbers today. I also have way too many tomatoes. I hit that point where I'm just like, you know, I got like a dozen tomatoes in one day, and I'm just like, I don't know how many tomatoes I can eat.
Why did I plant this much shit?
Yeah, I just...
You should make salsa out of it.
Yeah, no, I mean, I can make something out of it. I just, you know...
You probably make a robot.
I made like so much things, like
Tomato-powered
zucchini
robot.
bread, because I kept getting zucchini, and I was making zucchini bread, and I was giving zucchini bread away, and the plant's just like, here's some more fucking zucchini. I'm just like, fuck. And now, of course, I've planted too much squash, and you can't make squash bread, so I'm in trouble there. Gonna have a whole bunch of squash. I should plant like gourds or something, so I can have like weird fucking like spoons and shit made out of gourd. People come over and be like, "What the fuck?" Like, it's gourd. I did hear from Don Cease today. In typical Don Cease fashion, I should read this. This is just funny. This is people wanted. Are you curious, people, about what Don Cease is up to? Well, I'm going to tell you.
Now
That's
you
my
know.
job. This is the conversation. Okay, back on 7/8. He texts me out of the blue. I hadn't talked to him since June 12th. He texts me one thing on 7/8. He says, "How the hell do you keep getting out of bed every day and not driving off the 480 bridge?"
Oh, God damn it,
Drive
Bob.
over the bridge on my way to work. I said, "Feeling stressed?" No answer. Nothing. The guy doesn't write me back. Okay? He writes me today, so I have no idea what that was about. But
So nothing for 2.5 weeks. By now
Yeah.
you're assuming he did just drive himself off the bridge and he's gone.
just madness. And then he writes me today and he says, "Haven't talked to you in a while. How's it going?" I said, "Fine." I said, "Nothing new. How about you?" He goes, "Been fighting fleas like it's World War III over here. Cutting up carpeting from water damage. Had the week off. We just did a bunch of stuff around here. Now my son is having shit fits for no good reason on my last day before judgment returns." I'm like, Jesus Christ.
Yeah,
So
that's
just another Don Cease fucking day, man.
Oh,
He wants to have a game night. So, I said we got to get at least one more person. That way, if nobody shows up, we got enough people to play.
I'll tell you.
So
playing Seen It? Because I'll show up.
yeah, and kill everybody.
We should play that one game, Cards Against Humanity, because I haven't played that yet. It looks great.
You've never played Cards Against Humanity?
No, I know what it is. I just, dude. I mean,
Oh my god, it's so good.
Anytime everybody's ever played that, people are just way too fucking drunk.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah, I guess.
Let's get back to the show.
Fuck me and my story. Go ahead.
I mean, we could do that. I mean, I'll tell him that.
Don't stress yourself, man.
like your story.
Yeah.
I mean, I'll text him. He'll text me a month later. I mean, that's the way the guy is. Anyway, we don't want to go.
December.
We don't want to go over there right now if he's got fleas.
Yeah, you know, fuck my story.
Sunday's game night. Game nights are on Sundays. You can't have Sunday game night when you're doing it.
He could. No, game night's never on Sundays.
Yeah,
It's always
You
was
gotta
on.
work.
it's
You
always
gotta work the next day. It's Saturday.
Dude, we always.
But we could have it at my place or something because I'm not going over there if he's got fleas.
Yeah, no shit.
Because
Itchy.
you know.
Scratchy, scratchy, scratchy. Itchy, itchy, itchy. Scratchy, scratchy, scratchy.
I got dogs the way it is, and I don't need to get fucking.
You have dogs? Really?
I love
All right,
dogs.
let's do some news.
I walk dogs.
This is where you guys get to zone out and do stuff. Do your MySpace surveys.
Okay.
Ooh.
Del Toro and Kojima planning next project. Nobody's actually told us what happened to Kojima yet, officially. But meanwhile, we're hearing about what he's working on while he's apparently still employed with Konami, but not really. But film director says it won't be Silent Hills. It was Silent Hill fans who really suffered during the recent Hideo Kojima Konami drama when Silent Hills was canceled. But now Guillermo del Toro, film director and collaborator on the game, has said he still plans to work with Kojima on a new project. I love working with Kojima-san. We are still in touch, we are still friends, and working into doing something together. But that's not going to be Silent Hills, he told IGN. Konami didn't just cancel the Silent Hills project, it went to the trouble of removing the playable teaser PT demo from the PlayStation Store. Brian. We were in the planning stages, and it's a shame it's not going to happen, Del Toro said of Silent Hills. We were talking about really pushing the boundaries of new consoles and making the game really mess with your head. One of the great moments in Metal Gear Solid was Psycho Mantis. The idea that a game can actually interact with you and stuff like that. Hey, I'll give Del Toro credit for actually having played or
That was a pain in the
having knowledge of Metal Gear, because I don't know what the fuck he's talking about, but I'm glad he does. It's the second time Del Toro's work on a video game has met with disaster. His first project was called Insane for THQ, Toy Headquarters, which ended when the publisher went bankrupt. Luckily, he's found more success as a film director, and his latest film, Crimson Peak, is due for release in October. Anybody care about Crimson Peak?
Nope. Sounds like a zombie version of Twins Peak, which would be kind of good.
All right, there's a picture on this. You guys can't see, but there's a picture on this news article of Kevin Sorbo without his shirt on.
Oh, God.
Well, why can't I see it, damn
Where's
it?
my hand cream?
What the hell?
It says Smite hits 10 million players. Free-to-play PC title Smite launched in Europe and North America in March 2014 and has just hit the 10 million player milestone. To celebrate, developer Hi-Rez Studios are rewarding players who win 10 player versus player matches a special Hercules retro skin and Hercules voice pack featuring actor Kevin Sorbo. Once best for his role in the 90s TV show Hercules, that nobody really cares about. People just want Xena. They don't
No, that's coming back.
So far, that's just sources saying.
Yeah,
We don't really know if
but it's coming back.
But it's not going to be her.
Stop it. It'll totally be her. Who else is going to play her?
That's the point. It's going to be a reimagining.
It's the same people.
55-year-old asses are going to be running around fucking
Oh, stop
in that
it.
fucking outfit anymore.
Dude, have you seen her recently? She can still pull it off, trust me.
No, dude.
Oh, yes.
She's not even going to want to do that shit.
She already said that she's been totally
She's
whining.
going to be like Queen fucking Zira or some shit.
Uh-huh.
And there's
Dude,
going to be some young...
Chicks that are used to getting a lot of
20-year-old
attention that
women.
aren't getting any attention.
It's not going to... Listen. That show was okay. Okay?
What?
It was okay.
Fuck you, man.
But it was a syndicated show on like the UPN or WB
Now
or
they're talking
something.
NBC.
Yeah. No.
Yeah.
First of all, listen. NBC owns Sci-Fi. Have you seen some of the stuff that comes out on Sci-Fi?
Yeah.
If they're going to do it, that's where they're going to
He's
stick it.
fucking with your shit, man. You gonna stand for that? I mean, you're a diehard sci-fi fan.
No, even Larry knows that Sci-Fi Channel cancels shows when they're getting good and puts on shit forever.
When's the
Nobody
last time
wants to watch.
I think Sci-Fi has had one actual show that I watched.
Yeah. See. And
Watch
that
this,
was
you know,
what Cleopatra
Sci-Fi.
2025.
As far as their actual series, Sci-Fi mostly has crap.
Yeah. Totally.
I did forget to give them props though for the other Sci-Fi movie this week, Lava Lantula, which debuted last night, which with much less fanfare than Sharknado 3.
Oh, that's ridiculous. They just churn those movies out, don't they?
And this one was with the cast of the Police Academy movies,
Yeah.
which makes it even more kind of sad, because when the action hero of your film is 50-year-old Steve Guttenberg, and they're running around trying to blow up lava lantulas with the guy that does the cool sound effects with his mouth. Is it?
Yeah,
It's
okay,
kind
I
of,
don't know.
it's kind of sad.
Okay, well, anyway, we're not going to talk about that one anymore.
Yeah, we got sidetracked. But Lucy Lawless is totally going to be Xena, doing her own stunts. Hudson Leak is going to be back as Callisto.
No.
Yep. Renee O'Connor.
I don't want her to come back as. She's not going to even look remotely good anymore.
I saw Hudson Leak in a bad sci-fi movie a couple years back, and she looked pretty good.
Yeah,
Yeah, it was
Lucy
probably
Lawless is.
it was
Lucy
probably
Lawless is in
15 years ago.
that. She's in whatchamacallit. She's in that Gladiator TV show. It's on. Fuck's sake.
Showtime.
Yeah, thanks.
So
She's
there's a
fucking.
line
Dude, she's
for, like,
butt ass. She's butt ass
4
naked.
years now.
Totally naked in that, dude. She looked awesome.
And she was in Burn Notice, and she looked, like she's holding up
Listen,
well.
Lucy Lawless talking about how they should redo the show and she's all for it is just her saying, "Pay me," okay? She's saying, "I'll do it. Give me $1 million," and they're going to be like, "No, we're totally not going to give you $1 million. We're going to hire this little blonde girl over here that's 19, and she's going to be Xena, and you guys are going to be like, this is bullshit. I'm not watching this fake shit crap." And that's how it's going to be. And they'll give her some bit role so they can afford her. She is totally not going to be fucking Xena. If they were going to do anything, they would just do a Xena movie. Like for all the Xena fans. There's no way they're going to make a primetime show out of something that like didn't get primetime ratings when it was out as a reboot. It's just it's insane. You guys are pie in the sky in it.
You mean like when they brought back Family Guy 10 years after it was canceled?
But that had a different story behind it. Like that had decent ratings, and it was just kind of like cult following type of thing. And a lot of times networks will drop a show,
Arrested Development.
yeah, that had middling
I hate
ratings
that show.
because they just,
Arrested Development had okay ratings, but they won awards, but they were
Yeah.
like, no, because of the ratings weren't that good. They were like, nah, you got to go. But everybody loved it.
right.
Weird.
But when you're like during that UPN WB era, those syndicated shows like Babylon 5,
Briscoe
Cleopatra
County.
2525 or whatever.
Briscoe County.
Yeah, Briscoe County.
Jack of all trades.
Those things were just packaged up and sold to individual stations who ran them at whatever time they wanted to run them at. And it wasn't like they didn't have to run it at prime time. They didn't have to run it like
still
Deep
talking about
Space
Lucy Lawless.
Nine. They used to just stick it on at like 11 at night for the new episodes. Like they could do whatever they wanted to do. So they were like a ratings grab bag.
VIP.
And it's one of the reasons why the WB and the UPN merged into the CW, because they couldn't keep their shit together to be good networks. They just didn't have enough ratings, and the CW doesn't even have very good ratings. And, anyway, I'm not going to argue with you guys about it, but I'm just telling you, NBC primetime Xena, I mean, maybe, but it fucking ain't going to be Lucy Lawless jumping around going, "Ah!" throwing that fucking ring around.
Don't
and
tell
shit.
me her.
Get it.
It'd be Xena.
Totally not going to happen.
All right. I'm glad you did read the article and all. Now you're telling everybody what's going to happen.
Both $100 bill.
Uh-oh.
If she is on NBC in prime time,
Let's
dressed
CBS.
up as
God
Xena.
damn. Wearing a tiara made from the crystals of the
I'm
bottom
just
of the
telling
ocean.
you got to be in prime time on NBC as Xena.
What about CBS?
No, I don't. She's going to be on. It's NBC. They own it's Universal owns the rights to Xena.
Okay. Shows have never moved channels.
No, but they're the ones doing it.
He's insane. Let's move on the show. Christ.
Nobody cares that much about Xena.
At
Do they?
all.
These two guys do.
Cleopatra 2525. I care more about
That was a great show.
There we go.
just to watch.
Just in case.
Every time I watch that show, they were always falling down that elevator. Like about half the time, they're just like falling.
Well, that's how they travel from one to the other.
That's how they get trapped.
It's like the most low budget effect ever. They're just like hanging on wires or something, and they're talking, and it's so bizarre, that show. I don't know. I didn't hate that show. It was alright, but it was like, wasn't it like part of something else? Like, wasn't it like one of those like 10-minute shows, and then it share its time with Briscoe or something like that? It was weird when it was on. Like,
it was a full 30, but it was back to back with something like Hercules and Xeno were.
Yeah, okay.
And I don't remember what it was. I don't think.
Jack of all trades.
Yeah, I think it's Jack of all trades because Briscoe was actually primetime.
Jack of all trades. I remember that. Yeah. Yeah. Again, they could just stick those wherever they want to. It didn't matter. All right. China, as Donald Trump likes to say. Long-standing ban on video game consoles has been completely wiped away, reports the Wall Street Journal. The move clears the way for game consoles to be made and sold anywhere in the country. China last year took steps to relax its proscription on the sale of gaming consoles, which went into effect in 2000, but allowed them for sale only in an 11-mile trade zone surrounding Shanghai. Wow, it's weird. Still, console makers have found the restrictions, which included building local manufacturing facilities, time-consuming. Those now have been thrown out altogether. In February, the country asked its local governments for proposals on allowing the sale of consoles. The console ban was enacted by China's Cultural Ministry, ostensibly to shield its youth from the corrupting influence of games, but in the 15 years since, video gaming has become as much a mainstream leisure pursuit there as the West. Online PC gaming is the nation's largest market, and the China-only launch of Call of Duty Online is Activision's attempt to get a share of an online FPS segment with 100 million players. So anyway, pretty soon we're going to have a lot of Chinese video games. Translated into English, hopefully.
Taking over your computer tomorrow.
Yeah, expecting, I don't know, a totally different culture in video games. Speaking of television, TV with the double I at the end. The underused TV watching service connected to the Wii U will be no more next month. In a post on TV Miiverse, Sarah from Nintendo wrote that the service will end on August 11, 2015 at 3 p.m. Pacific time. So you'll be like watching a show and shit, and all of a sudden it's like, what? Hey, sorry. All that MeTV is like a glorified remote control. It just kind of showed you what's on and what's coming up, on your touchpad, and it could control your television.
Oh, good.
You could change channels. So it was kind of cool. It worked really well, but
I'm going to change your channel right in the middle of a show, I'm sure.
Well, the problem.
What was porn like?
Well, the problem is that big JoJo controller has a battery that lasted like 2 hours, So it's kind of like, it's just a fucking pain in the ass to turn the Wii on and then use it. So nobody uses it. Well, I mean, somebody does, but
Yeah, somebody did.
Because if I say, every time I try to generalize and say nobody uses it, there's always one ball sack that's like, I use it, fuck you,
Why would you worry about what somebody else has to say?
Because I'm shallow. I get, upset. I want everybody to like me and
I'm
not
shallow.
what I have to say. Number 10 on the PC games list. The Elder Scrolls Online Tamriel Unlimited. Steam list. Number 9, Elder Scrolls V Skyrim Legendary Edition. Number 8, The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt. Number 7, The Talos Principle. Number 6, Five Nights at Freddy's 4. Finally out. Number 5, The Elder Scrolls Online Tamriel Unlimited. Number 4, Counter-Strike Global Offensive. Number 3, Grand Theft Auto 5. Finally, number 2, Ark Survival Evolved has fallen because number 1, Rocket League is out. And people are getting Rocket League. And don't forget, every week I'm giving away like a shitload of games on the Video Game News Facebook page if you play Steam games. Because right now it's basically all Steam. And I've given away about 200 games so far. So, if you want a game, Corbin went on there and he's like, how about you give your friend of 30 years a free game? I'm like, do you have Steam? He's like, I don't have Steam.
Guess what?
Yeah. I'm like, well, I'm only giving away Steam games, dude. It's not like I'm going to send you. Sometimes people, sometimes I get a lot of people, picking up the games, and then sometimes I put a game up there, and then nobody responds. Like, Cossacks was on there for, a full day or something. European Wars, and, nobody took it. I'm just like, it's weird. It's fucking free. I think they think, if they pick the Cossacks, then the next game I'm going to put up there is going to be
Auto.
GTA.
Fallout 4, Yeah. It's going to be like, hey!
With the Free Mutants.
Yeah! You get the early release of Fallout 4 right now! So, knocking my fucking windscreen down. Okay. That's it for the news. Here's the games coming out this week. And then we got some email I gotta get through in 13 minutes here. I'm fucking broke now. Let's say Monday, multi-platform, we have Icy. I-C-Y. Tuesday, we have King's Quest, multi-platform. Legend of K, Anniversary. N, as in the letter, ++. And The Swindle. And for PC, we have Galicide.
Destroy the galaxy.
Wednesday, we have Absolute Drift for multi-platform. And then everybody's favorite drinking day, Thursday. For the 3DS, we have Angry Birds 2 and Animal Crossing Happy Home Designer. For the Vita, we have Date Alive, Twin Edition, Rio Reincarnation. That's one game. That's one name. Followed by Fushigi no Chronicle.
Drink.
Fury K. Oh my god, I can't say this word. Fury K. Fury K. Mason. Katsu Madewa.
Yeah, drink.
Yeah, just drink. There's no hope on that one. Who plays these? Does it come on the Vita looking like? The Vita's fucked up because it has this online store, and there will be a game like that, and there will be no screenshots and barely a description. And you're just like, I don't know what this is. I'm not buying it. It's like $40. It'll have 3.5 stars or something, and you'll just be like, I don't know what the fuck this is. And Ray Gigant.
Oh, yeah.
And then multi-platform is Infinite Stratos 2, Love and Purge.
Infinite Stratos?
Infinite Stratos 2, Love and Purge. And finally, for PC on Friday, is Dream.
You turn out, you fall asleep. How's the game, huh?
Somebody's got to come and shut it off.
Yeah, it shuts itself off.
Oh my god! All right, I gotta open the email. This is where I get logged off.
Hey, what game are you playing over there? Everybody walks in and just passes right out. Dude, they've been in there for 20 minutes. All right, here. What?
I gotta pee.
Yeah.
All right.
Don't leave.
This thing here says to go. Some receipts in here for some reason. That's in here. Oh, I hooked up one of my old Sling boxes. I have a first edition Sling box. I hooked it up. It doesn't even get HD digital signals.
What the
So I
fuck
had to
is
hook it up to this crappy receiver. The Sling box connects to your cable, and so if you're away from the house, you can watch your cable on. I hooked it up for this guy that lives in Alabama, so he can watch Browns games. I don't know who this guy is.
That's great.
I was on a forum yelling at the developers.
Just wanted to be nice.
this device called the Tableau, telling them that their software is awful. And this guy was like, I just want to know how much I have to pay you to let me watch the Browns games on your Tableau, which is impossible because Tableau software blows. And I was like, well, I just talked to the guy, and I was like, dude, I'll just set you up a Sling, and you can watch it. So that guy liked it so much that he bought a new Sling and has having it sent to me because he doesn't want to watch it on my old Sling, which is only SD. He wants to watch it in HD.
Haha.
Nice.
So now I have this total stranger sending me a fucking free Sling Bugs.
I appreciate you hooking me up at all, but I'm going to send you an HD one. Go ahead and hook me, please.
Yeah, I don't care. It's not like I'm using my upload bandwidth during Browns games or anything.
Right.
Okay. Like 10 minutes here. Tony writes us, captured by robots at videogamenews.com. Hello, Don and crew.
Hello.
What do you guys believe is the future of gaming? Will Brian ride his inflatable mount with his pink mohawk as he plays an MMO?
Yeah, probably.
Sure. I'm going to get this question every week.
Pretty much.
That's bitter.
I'm not bitter. It's just I'm running out
I
of.
already repeated it like 100 times, so.
I'm just running out of things to say.
The future of gaming, what's the future of Public Enemy? The future of Public Enemy? Oh, I have no idea.
Yeah, I don't know. Probably just more of the same.
Talking about
I don't
like
know.
we're getting away from discs and everything's going to be download, or then there's maybe
Better
even
graphics, and
yeah.
you wear some device and it just appears right in front of your mind. You know?
More plastic toys.
Yeah, definitely
One
more
thing
toys.
that's interesting is Windows 10 comes out this week, I believe.
Yep.
And it's free if you have Windows 7 or Windows
I do.
8. And Microsoft said that you are going to get the updates. You know how Windows Update has updates?
Mm-hmm.
You get them. You don't get to say, like, no to them. Like, you get them.
Just happened.
And you get them for 10 years. So they expect this OS to at least last 10 years. They have said that they're not going to make another OS, but I don't know if that's true. I mean, at some point, they'll probably, things will be so weirdly different that they'll have to. But this is supposed to be the last one. So I don't know. I have like one computer that I said okay to it on, but I'm still not sure I'm going to install it because I'm just going to wait and see if people like complain about bugs and shit. Because it's not going to make anything better. It's not going to make any of my games better. I don't think. So it's kind of like I might just wait until something actually like requires it or something. Because I just know, man. I just know my luck. It's going to be like I'm going to get that NT loader not found after it tries to reboot with the black screen. And I'm going to be like, fuck, I got to reinstall everything again. I just don't really want to do it. I don't know. I still have my trusty Vita machine that generally runs everything fine. And, it's supposed to be terrible, which, I don't know. It just works. So it's like I don't feel compelled to upload it to, or upgrade it to 7 or upgrade it to 8. But I'm kind of, I got fucking, like, 2 computers on my desk at work, 3 computers at home. I'm a rare bird. I don't know about you guys. I mean, do you guys have a Windows machine? Are you guys going to upgrade at all?
Yeah, I have to.
Yeah. It's making you?
Well, it'd be stupid not to. I mean, it's free. So, I mean, I have a feeling that when I plug in my iPad, my iPhone, because I'm using Windows 7, maybe that's making things a little bit, because they're a little bit weird now. Plus, I feel kind of idiotic. I didn't even know that we're up to 10. Or they're working on, they're like, going to release 12. I'm like, oh.
Well, they did make it 9, so it was just 8 to 10.
Still.
But
usually I would update like every other. And,
if you're only on 7, going from 7 to 10, it'll be good. Because there's a lot of cool improvements in 8. It's just that it has that weird, like, there's 2 windows. There's the windows with, like, for tablet, and then the Windows that's like the regular Windows, and that's a lot of people don't like that because you're switching between the 2 all the time. And 10 kind of gets rid of that in a way. So
yes, I'm hoping.
And then you'll get all of the instant startup, and it
Yeah.
has a lot of cool stuff in it that 7 doesn't have. 7's still good though, but 8's pretty good. So 10 will even be better. Larry, what about you, man? Does your computer work?
No, I'm actually not even speaking to you right now because my computer doesn't work. Of course, my computer works. I'm not planning on it, although you made me less against it because I hated 8, like with a passion.
Yeah.
I just hate the layout of 8. I hate everything about 8. So I'm not really planning on upgrading because I'll probably wind up having to because I'm going to be needing a new computer here soon anyhow. This thing's getting old.
Yeah. Well, 10 years. It's a long time for one OS. It's like how long we had XP, though. But this is more on purpose. They did say that they're going to sell 1 billion copies of Windows 10 in its first year. 1 billion. And they said, Microsoft said that they have Windows on 1.5 billion machines currently. Thought that number was insane. No wonder they're so loaded with cash. All right, this is from Rite, and he wrote to Asdrubal Cabrera, Asdrubal Cabrera at VideoGameNews.com. What's up, Larry and Company? If you could go back in time and relive a day in your life without whatever you do in the past affecting the future, what day would you relive, and what, if anything, would you do? Keep up the good work, yada, yada, yada.
Can we change it? We have to actually relive it.
Well, you can go back and do whatever you want. It just won't change the future.
Monsters of Rock.
That was hot, man.
Dude,
You have to go and bring fucking ice,
sunscreen,
sunscreen,
a long sleeve shirt, and pants. Oh,
You'd be singing along with the new Justice songs that they played, like Harvester of Sorrow and stuff, and people would be like, "How do you know the lyrics of this?" Fuck yeah! You know.
Probably the King Diamond show we went to.
And then we wouldn't get lost on the way home.
Wouldn't it be cool though? Just go back to a day where you had money and go see Metallica during Puppets, so you could see Cliff Burton on stage.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
Something just posted on Facebook when Metallica played in 1983 in the Agora Ballroom.
Yeah.
And I was thinking, Jesus Christ, that would have been awesome.
Yeah.
Right.
Cliff Burton was still alive and shit.
Be kind of cool.
The Ranger and the 4-string motherfucker. Remember?
I have a story like that where I saw a band very, very early on that became very, very famous later on. And I saw him at the Babylon a Go-Go. Back on 25th Street in Lorraine. I don't talk about it because it was the Goo Goo Dolls.
Yeah. I saw White Zombie at Flash Gordon's, and as soon as I saw him, these guys are probably going to go up pretty high for a while because they got a pretty good sound. And I was right.
Yep.
Okay, well, that's all we got for that because we got to move along. I got one more email and we're done.
Yeah.
This is from Jackal. And he wrote to Kevin pooped in the tub at VideoGameNews.com.
Yeah?
He says, "Hey, Don.
What?
I had the worst experience at work last night.
Uh-oh.
So
I'm a server at a steakhouse. I get this 10-top group, and everything is going good at first. They get appetizers on time, everyone's happy. Then half of them step out for a smoke just before their food hits the table. So when they come back, it's cold, and they want to bitch at me. It's if that's not bad enough, the people who weren't smoking are bitching because Expo got a few plates out of order or something. This one bitch basically expected me to read her mind and not bring her beer until we brought her food. So she's mad because now her beer is flat. They got comped $50 on a $150 bill, and I know they were hoping to get more out of us, but my manager didn't budge. My other tables saw what was going on and all offered their sympathies. What is your worst guest experience as a server?"
Oh, man. I don't know. Because I forget everything. Well, I mean, it's like I'll work and then I come home and I mull over it maybe for like a day or so. Like depends on what it is, and then after that it's just like out. You know, it's just out of my head. I mean, I don't know. Yeah, I don't. I mean, maybe that lady. I wasn't serving, but when I was the manager at Bob Evans, and that lady was like, "I didn't want this. I don't want this cheeseburger." And I was like, "Oh well, I'll take it away for you." And she goes, "Well, no, I want it boxed up." And I was like, "Well, then I'm going to charge you for it." And she's like, "No, I don't want to charge for it."
I gotta go.
Okay.
I
Yeah.
just realized I gotta get my kid fucking into the goddamn bathtub, and she's upstairs, and don't want to yell, and I got tons of
That's
shit.
all right, man.
I
Don't worry.
just realized I had to do. I'm sitting there, I'm like, oh fuck.
That's fine.
So later.
Well,
So, yeah.
that's pretty much it. I don't know. I mean, I've had bad tables. I've had terrible tables. I've had just drive you nuts, and you fucking go in the back and start smashing everything. And it's like I just got to get these fuckers the hell out of here. You know.
Darn, come on. The worst table is the one where you had the manager and you forgot the mint leaf, because then you had to go back through training because of that table.
Yeah,
So,
but that wasn't anything because it wasn't anything because the girl who was going through the thing just gave me the paperwork and said, "Here, just fill this out." She's like,
Yeah.
"I know what you're doing." You know, she's like, I know you know what you're doing," and it's like, I know what I'm doing. I mean, I had a table once where like I dropped a Coke and it spilled on the tray. It didn't hit people, and it kind of dripped off the tray and hit this girl in her pants or whatever. And it was like a big party. It was like 13, 16 people somewhere in there. And I was like, "Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. Is there anything I could do for you?" And her dad's across the table. He was like, "No, we're fine. Everything's fine, you know. It's all good." And I'm like, "Okay." Weird noise. And so we go through the whole meal. They get all their food, they get all their shit, and then at the very end of the meal, I go to give the guy his check. He's like, "Oh, no, I'm not paying for her food." And it's just kind of like, "What?" And he's like, "I'm not paying for her food." And I was like, "Well, why didn't you tell me that beforehand, dick?" You know, I've been so dicky to people. Yeah, there's been. How about this one? There was a time where I had to split a party of like 20 some odd people with this other guy, and I was like, I don't want to split the party because once you got two people involved, then you're all fucked. And then like everybody ordered, but then they all jumped up and moved around, and started going all over the place. And then like one guy in the middle of the meal goes, "I need my check," and it's like, "Who are you and who are you paying for?" "Well, I had them two over there." "Well, what did they have?" "I don't know." "Okay, well, how the fuck am I supposed to know?" You know. And we ended up
right.
$200 off of this check. It was like $400 or $500. It was fucking ridiculous. But yeah, I mean, you get your bad nights, and there's nothing you could do about it. I mean, with what you went through, I would have told, if all them people came back and said, "Oh, my food's cold," I would have been like, "Well, that's, you know, hey, we brought it out. You weren't here. Sorry. You know, what are you gonna do? It's not our fault you fucking went outside to smoke." And then the thing about when people say, "I want my drink with my food," doesn't mean it has to be there when the food gets there. It just means have it ready and in the back of your head that when the food hits that table, boom, ring it in, go get it, do whatever, then you bring it to them because they got their food, they take a bite, boom, beer's next to them, everybody's good to go. How's that? Was that good advice?
There's the plan. There you go. Don's tips. For more, listen to Tumbling with Tumbleweed. Thursday nights at 11 on
Yeah.
Blog Talk Radio.
Yeah. There's tips to get tips.
It's not Tuesdays anymore? At 11?
What did I say? Thursday again?
Yeah.
I have no idea. I wasn't even paying attention to what you said.
Okay.
I just agreed with you.
I thought maybe it moved.
Nah, it never moves.
Okay.
I had one more email, but forget it. Noah, we'll read your email next week. I'll be the first thing, unless I forget, because I do that. But we're way over, so. Thanks, everybody. Sorry about the echo early in the show. Hopefully you all survived. We'll be back next week. You guys got shout-outs right now?
Nope.
Tumbleweed. Tuesdays at 11.
Tuesdays at 11, yeah. Tumbling with Tumbleweed.
Good night.